Welcome back, everyone, to the Horror Shed Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jared. We have Brian with us down there, and as you can see, we got some special guests. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy Friday.
Yes, Friday.
I know this weekend it's like pre-Super Bowl
Championship
festivities.
Sunday, baby.
You're getting your 40 pounds of
Yes,
wings.
I is.
And I'm going to go say, hey, go 49ers. But so before we get into our special guest this week, I did get a mail call. And whenever we get something horror related, we would want to promote it. I forget where I ordered this from because I ordered from so many different places. I think it was off of a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but to celebrate almost Valentine's Day, I got the hardcover
Cool.
My Bloody Valentine. It's basically the novel, and I believe there's extra stuff from the script that didn't make it into the film. So it's written by Armando Munoz with a foreword by the director George Milaka. If I pronounced that right, probably not. But what I also got was a cool bookmark. And on top of that, which I think is even cooler, I got an invitation.
Oh, that's cool.
And
wow.
the invitation is both of their autographs.
Oh, wow.
That's not real, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, this is as they would say on Pawn Stars, live ink. So
I'm actually jealous. I want that book. I just found out about it recently, and I was like, I need that.
Yeah, I think with everything, it was like $50. So you can't beat that for a hardback and 2 autographs.
Oh, it was a hardback. That was a hardback.
Yeah, I love hardbacks. So, as Jared, you had said, we have 2 special guests.
We do.
I met these gentlemen back Friday the 13th in Blairstown. They were joining festivities and also promoting an upcoming fundraiser that they're doing Saturday, September 4th in Sayerville, New Jersey, correct?
Yes.
All right,
yes, but many of us call it Slayerville.
Slayerville, okay. So, Chris and Greg, see? Yeah,
Cuneo.
Cuneo. There we go. Cuneo. Cuneo. Thanks, guys. You know, I'm not very good with names. So
no, that's okay. Don't worry about
it. Lunio? Cuneo.
Oh, Lunio. Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk. We are going to be talking about different things. We're going to talk about your introduction into horror. We're going to talk about the Addams Family.
Yeah. Double snap.
We saved the best for last. We're going to talk about this awesome fundraiser that you guys had created, which is going to be basically this episode will release on Monday. So it's going to be just, 5 days after. So, all right, guys, you two are brothers, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Growing up, what was your introduction into the horror genre?
Well, for me, my earliest memory was Jaws. My parents were on a date at the drive-in here in town, the Amboy Drive-in. And I was supposed to sleep through the whole thing, but I woke up through the middle of the movie, and I saw my first gore for the first time, which was the head scene that comes out of the bottom of the ship. And I stood awake for the whole thing, and so that's my earliest memory of horror and my favorite movies. I mean, my favorite movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but
we'll get into
we'll get into that. But Jaws is the most important movie to me because it's my first.
And plus. Again, Jaws is a Jersey boy.
Mattawan.
Yes. How far is that from you?
Very close, actually. And when I found out, I was floored. We became good friends with the people that run the Historical Society. Kurt and their crew are going to be there bringing Jaws stuff to the event, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, that's awesome.
More as well. Yes.
All right. What about you, Greg? What's your earliest memory of introduction?
Well, for me, I mean, since Christopher's 6 years older than me, I grew up with like monster magazines, and we used to have like a collective thing in our basement with our different books and our magazines. And Chris was 6 years older, so he had a lot of like monster magazines and stuff like that.
Monster books, Scholastic books,
and he also had trading cards like with the Universal Monsters and stuff like that. So I remember that, and I also back in the day they used to have these little action. I think they put them out now. They're called reaction figures now.
Yes.
But originally they had them. They had Universal Monsters. They had a Frankenstein, and I remember vividly taking him around in his little play set which is a little Victor Frankenstein lab type thing, and
it was made of like it was
plastic.
It was
cardboard.
like cardboard with a plastic over it. They were really cheaply made, the cases and the play sets back then.
Yeah, but my first, like, I don't know, like if it's considered a horror movie. I saw Raiders when I was like 4 years old with the melting faces.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not horror per se, but that was.
Well, that's horror. That sure is horror. That's a very horrendous, but in a good way. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, that's us. I mean, outside of Jaws, though, big King Kong fan. You know, that is considered horror. You know, so it went from that as one of the early memories, and
I saw the De Laurentiis one. Right?
Yeah, I saw De Laurentiis in 76.
76, yep.
76. So I was 5 years old at the time. So I mean, so that was when I was really getting into horrors with the Jaws when I was 4, and then also with the King Kong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, he's 6 years older than me. He's, you know, and when he was a little older and he had his own room upstairs, he used to have Fango magazines.
Oh, nice.
Of course, I was flipping through the Fangos, and he would have like pictures of like you know, cutouts from the different magazines, like the different pages and posters up. So I was surrounded by a lot of horror growing up. Our parents are not really horror people.
So, well, your mom seems to partake in your enjoyment. She was she seemed like a really fun person when I met her on
she said, you know, when we said that we were going to do a podcast, he said, yeah, he's a really nice guy. So yeah, you have a good first impression, man.
Good job, Brian.
Don't let the hawk fool you.
It's amazing. It's amazing the guy that's going around with a machete or an axe in your case that day is such a sweetheart.
Such a sweet man.
Don't let too many people know. I got a reputation to uphold, you know?
Oh, Jesus. So this question is for both of you individually. What is your favorite horror movie and franchise?
Well, I'm a diehard Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. I got into it. I'll do a quick story. So when we were younger, we went to San Francisco. And there was like a made-up seance, like you know, you go there, and we went to see Alcatraz, and then you know, it's like they have these other like really like novelty things going on at the wharf, and they had like come to a seance or whatever, and I'm like, Mom, let's do this, and because I was always into like creepy, scary stuff since you know forever practically, and so I said we got to do this. And the lights went out, you know. Well, first they were doing a seance, you know, making it up like it's a seance. Then the lights went out, and then the chainsaw went off, and I was literally underneath the table, you know, scared for my life. But when it was over and the lights came on, I was like, I think I'm a chainsaw fan forever. And so it kind of like went from there to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and around the same time, I was big into a chainsaw from summer school. So
Jared, were we just talking about that movie?
Yep.
Yeah, that's such a good movie. That was my introduction into Texas Chainsaw, because I saw Summer School probably like when I was 9 or 10. I'm like, oh, what movie is this? I want to see it.
It was on cable like all the time, like when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, Dean Cameron's chainsaw ended up becoming a hero of mine. So I started emulating him in school, and it was obvious people started calling me Chainsaw. I was like Chainsaw of my high school and whatever, which I that's like my horror name. Like, you know, like I have I'm an artist as well. So I have Cartoonio, which is my cartoon name. I'm a DJ as well. So, you know, DJ Chris. And then my horror name is Chainsaw, which I changed to Chain Sawyer. So I would be, you know, we already have a chainsaw. That's Dean Cameron. But I'm Chain Sawyer because I took the Sawyer family and put it with Chainsaw, and I combined it, made my new name.
And you might know this, and Jared, I'm not sure if you know this. Did you know that there is an Austin Powers alumni in Summer School?
Oh, of course, a lot of vagina.
Yeah, do you remember that, Jared?
Yep.
He was an exchange student.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm friends with most of those people because it's like one of my collections. I had to meet all of them.
We actually have a group on Facebook for summer school.
Yeah, I
Really?
made
That's
the
funny.
first summer school Facebook page because
Nice.
I was looking for one. I'm like, I can't believe they got a page for everything, every movie, but not the best for one of the best. Well, actually, it's the best because it's the first time that they had characters in high school which were horror fans.
Yeah.
Before that, they were stoners, whatever.
Yeah.
They were in a we called expression like John Bender was like a dirt bag, you know.
Yeah.
And then you had Chainsaw and Dave, which loved their horror. So of course I immediately fell in love with that movie.
And I believe the friend of Chainsaw, the blonde guy, he was
Gary.
in Bad News. He was in Bad News Bears, I believe.
Gary Riley. Gary Riley was actually in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's a lot of people don't realize that.
He stole the money from.
Yeah, he stole his wallet.
Okay, gotcha. He just looks like the one kid from Bad News Bears, like the small blonde who had like the big voice.
No, that's not him. That's it.
Okay.
I can see that you might have got that.
Yeah. All right, Greg. What about you?
For me, I didn't see it until I was older because I was too young for it. Chris saw it in the theaters, but Poltergeist. I love Poltergeist. Poltergeist is my favorite. I mean, I think Chris is like this too. We're big pop culture people, and we're big, of course, horror, whatever. So we really can't pick like one. It's so hard to choose things.
Yeah.
Especially Christopher. I always say, "What's your favorite thing?"
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't put that on me. And I'm like, well, you got to choose one.
No, it's hard. I'm very Gemini's. We're very we can't choose.
Indecisive.
We're very indecisive.
So and I think Jared, we had this conversation last recording when we were talking about Poltergeist. I believe you had said you like part 2 better than part 1.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Part 2 is awesome.
A lot of people dug that
with the friggin' the worm from the Kilo.
The worm.
That was
Reverend
badass.
Kane. Jared's scene was like when the mom's having the flashbacks of Kane leading them into the cave.
That was terrifying.
And the braces, of course, with I'm
glad I didn't have braces growing up.
But going to franchise, I guess like we were talking about this before. I guess Halloween like I love Michael Myers is my favorite. Sorry, Jason. I mean, he's from Jersey, but he's my second favorite. I actually love.
At least Jason didn't have a crummy apprentice. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to go down that road.
You see, we discussed this earlier about franchises. I'm huge into Jason and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Evil Dead's probably my favorite franchise.
Yeah, see, that's the one franchise, and I have said this so many times. I just could never really get into it. I mean, I'll watch them, but I'm not knowledgeable in the franchise at all. I did like the remake. I am looking forward to the upcoming one.
Yeah.
And I did go see the musical, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah.
We were the splatter zone.
We got the shirts, man. The splatter
my wife didn't know that we got the splatter zone. The guy's like, "Here's your shirts," and she's like, "For what?" He's like, "Oh, you're in the splatter zone," and she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, wait till you just find out." We were probably right in the center.
It was probably one of the best experiences of my
life. It was a great play.
But I'll tell you this: you do not want to
Mm-hmm.
get the blood in your eyes.
I got it in my eye, even though I had my glasses on.
And it was painful.
And in your mouth too, because that stuff doesn't taste good.
Oh no!
I would take it. Well, actually, I was going to say I'd take it in the mouth than the eye, but then it started to sound perverted now.
All right, so we are all from Jersey, and I think Jersey has produced a lot of great individuals in every genre of art throughout the years. When it comes to horror, obviously there's the mama boy Jason, but we also are home to someone who created family who is kooky and perhaps a little spooky. I'm talking about Charles Addams. Talk to us about Charles Addams and where is he from?
Well, Charles Addams is from Westfield, New Jersey, which from here is less than a half an hour up the Parkway. And I've been into Charles Addams my whole life, especially, originally watching it on TV as a toddler. I'm going to show my age or whatever, but, I
don't think, well, it wasn't on when you were.
Well, it was in syndication.
It was in syndication.
But I mean, like, I was watching it on the screen originally, and then as the time went on, we got the movies, and they were on Scooby Doo or whatever.
Yeah,
So
that's what
Now the TV show only lasted a couple of seasons, correct?
Yeah, it was 2 seasons.
the cartoon one you're talking about.
Well, no, the live action one.
Original.
Yeah,
2 seasons.
both that and the
Yeah,
Monsters.
but I think they had like 60 episodes a season or something. Or
Yeah, they
40
they didn't have a gap on how many episodes back then.
No.
It was mysterious to this day. It was really weird that they both were canceled at the same time, and they were both like a success.
Yeah.
But people are. It's not just the people watching the TV. It's the people that are in charge of the television networks. That pull the plug a lot of times. So, but that's that like ongoing thing. Like, why were they canceled? But yeah, so he's from Westfield, which is only half an hour from here.
So if I want to go visit the town, if I'm coming from the south, what exit would that be on the Parkway?
It's off the Parkway.
Well, it's the combination of Clark and Westfield. So it doesn't have his own exit. Actually,
its own exit by itself.
It's like I said, it's directly off the Parkway.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're putting me on.
That's okay, but it's Westfield, New Jersey.
Yeah. You can go south and.
For someone who's not like really knowledgeable at the Adams, did it start out as a comic strip or a cartoon?
Oh, the Adams was worked for the New Yorker, and he would use like these different characters, all the time that it would look the same. A lot of them look like Pugsley. A lot of the boys were always mischievous. They always had the crew cut and the vertical stripes or whatever. But it wasn't until 1938 till he first introduced Morticia. And then and in that same one was what they call the butler, and which became Lurch or whatever. But he didn't look like Frankenstein in the beginning. He looked like a character that Boris Karloff played from Old Dark House.
Old Dark House, yeah.
From this Old Dark House, which is a classic movie if you haven't seen it.
It's a Universal movie.
You take the time. If you love classic Universal movies, it's just and you love Adams, which I do. I mean, I eat, breathe, sleep Charles Adams, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
October. That's all we talk about is Charles Adams.
So yeah. So through the years, he would just, he would have, he started out with his Morticia, which was the witch. He was called the witch initially, and the butler, and then as time went on, he started introducing Gomez, of course, which became, the two of them became close and niched in the strips that he was doing. And it wasn't until later that they were thinking about doing a TV show where he started naming them. They weren't named originally. They named them just for the TV show. Yeah. Him and Nat Perrin, which was the creator of it, along with Charles Adams.
Okay, and so I didn't know that it was created so long ago. I'm thinking like 50s, like the comic strips came out.
No, 1938. Wow. That was Charles Adams' dream job, to work at the New Yorker, and he got his first job there. Have you ever seen the famous cartoon? It's a skier, and it's just like the tracks are actually going around the tree.
No.
That's kind of his stuff, Okay. And he got paid a decent amount of money for that, and it was always a dream of his. I think, did I mention that already? What? It was always a dream of his to actually work at the New Yorker.
Right.
So once he got that money, and he's like, all right, we got the money, we got my dream happening, and then he ended up staying with them for a long time until the TV show started becoming popular, and it kind of became like cliche to the New Yorker, and they didn't want to be a part of that, and they didn't do any Addams Family strips after that, after it became too popular.
Well, if the New Yorker knew now, knew now what they knew then, or knew whatever, they're probably kicking themselves in the butt,
Well, with time, they did introduce him back, and he did do some later pieces with them or whatever. But yeah, for a while they pulled the plug on the Addams Family strips.
Now, there's an annual celebration of his work. How long has that been going on? And Chris, how did you get involved with that event?
Well, we're going on our 6th year,
October.
and this October, the full October. We celebrate not a week, a day a week, but a whole month, which is, of course, it's appropriate to be October month is Charles Adams month.
Well,
So-
Adams Fest in Westfield.
Is that to celebrate? Is that the month of his birthday, or how?
No, he's actually born in January, which I celebrate every year. I call it the 13th day of Christmas. It's the day after Epiphany. Which is the 7th. So January 7th is his birthday. Yeah. Yeah, I told you I was obsessed.
Yeah. So did they choose October because it's just Halloween and that's when they want to
Yes, of
celebrate?
course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it was probably his favorite month, don't you think?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so I got involved with it because we went to the the story goes back. So I used to, I was reading the book about Charles Adams that was given to me by an ex-girlfriend because I'm a cartoonist and I love kooky and ooky and spooky stuff or whatever. So she's like, Chris, I think you should read this or whatever. So it was his biography on his life. And, you know, it mentions where he was born. And we start out the book in Westfield, New Jersey. And it just,
you didn't know that at the time.
I didn't know that at the no, who knows that really?
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't know that until you guys told me.
Yeah. So, I mean, and ironically around the same time, I bought the DVD collection and Kevin Mizrachi, which is he now runs the T and Adams Foundation, Charles Adams Foundation. You'll see his name on the end of the Wednesday show. It was really it's very proud to work side by side this guy because now he's bigger than ever and like you have like all the different cast coming up and at the end it goes with help from Kevin Mizrachi. I'm like, I know that guy. Yeah, so I was reading the book, I was watching the DVDs, finding out from Kevin that he's from Westfield, and also I bought a we go to Chiller convention. Yep. And there you'll find videotapes and old videotapes, and I found an Adams Family video, and as a fan of Adams for my whole life, a lifelong fan, I was like, I bought it home, and again, Adams, Charles Adams is from Westfield. It comes from a town in Westfield. So all these all these three things lined up, and me and my brother took a ride out to Westfield and said
on Halloween night.
On Halloween night, I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
It was a rainy Halloween night, and there was practically nothing in town to do with Charles Adams. So we went to the cemetery that I heard that he loved to hang out in.
We went to Trader Joe's.
We went to the Trader Joe's because I heard there was when Googling there was a mural that was dedicated to him. And we didn't get to. We didn't get to see that originally. It wasn't until years later because when we went there, it was a rainy day. So we pretty much tried to do what we did. We drove past the cemetery, and we drove through past the main street, which you would think that you would see Charles Adams on Halloween all around the town, and there was like one little picture in the apothecary.
I think we went to where. Did we go where his?
And of course, his house is where he was, where he's born, and
was he born there?
On Elm Street. Yeah. He was actually born on Elm Street, ironically. How funny is that?
Yeah.
Because I did not to get ahead of myself, but I did a Weird New Jersey article, and I called it the Nightmare King of Elm Street.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was tying the three of them. Like I'm a big Jack Skellington fan, so and there wouldn't be Jack Skellington if it wasn't for Charles Adams. A lot of things actually tie back to Charles Adams. They go the Haunted Mansion. If it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be a Haunted Mansion.
Oh, okay.
Elvira. And that's another story, but there wouldn't be a persona Elvira if there wasn't a Charles Adams, which created Morticia, which created Vampira, which then created Elvira.
Elvira, yeah.
So yeah, so Adams Fest. I was looking online, every few months, and then it was the 100th anniversary, and they did a Google. They did a Charles Adams Google, and it was beautiful, very well done. And around the same time, I found a video by a man named Ron McCloskey, which is a town historian, a Westfield town historian, specifically a Charles Adams. Is a town historian, all to do with all the sites that you can go to in town to check out whatever. And so I followed him, and saw what was popping with him for a while, and then one day it pops up in events that there was going to be a Adams Fest, and I'm like, oh wow, the day is here. We get our
we're going.
We're going. Yeah, we get it, and we actually had a funeral that day, and I was like, I don't care. We're gonna go, even if we have to go after it. We're gonna make our time. And it was raining.
I don't mean to interject, but it's like every time I talk to you, you're going to a funeral.
Yeah.
Safe to say I shouldn't be hanging around you too much.
Yeah, yeah, but in this case, it worked out for the better because I was actually wearing my my gloom and doom, was one we wear to a funeral.
Like you said, it was raining.
Yeah, and I was, so I was wearing my fedora, I was wearing my suit jacket and pants, all black, of course, and then I had my Addams Family shirt underneath. Yeah. And so we went from the funeral to the Addams Fest. That day it was rained out. The outside stuff was rained out, so we bring it all in. It's a place called the Armory, and a woman named Dawn Mackey, which is the councilwoman there. And the one that was practically the one that she isn't the one who came up with the idea, but she was the one who made it happen. Really, it was that guy Charles. What's his name? Ron McCloskey. That's so funny. I'm blending the two, Ron McCloskey and Charles Adams. They're like one and the same. This guy, because it's actually funny. Ron McCloskey looks a little bit like Fester Adams or Charles. He has the same. It was like his hero, and then he ended up looking like him when he grew up. It's funny how that happened. Whatever.
I remember wanting to go to the lecture too.
So Ryan was doing a lecture. I'm like, there's that guy that's always in the video, whatever. So that's actually, I think, the reason why I found out about it, because he was promoting his he was doing this lecture, and it just
at the Westfield Library.
At the Westfield Library. So yeah, so Dawn Mackey, which like I said,
opening ceremony.
Yeah,
I was just saying that's where she was.
She was at the opening ceremony. Ron McCloskey was given a key to the town for making Westfield happen, putting that little bug in both the mayor and Dawn McCloskey, the councilwoman's ear, to be able to have.
You said Ron McCloskey.
No,
you said Dawn McCloskey.
I did? Yeah. Oh my God. I told the story too many times. I'm so sorry. There's some stories that everybody asks, but of course you put me on the spot here, and I'm screwing it up, whatever. So do you want to interject actually?
No, this is your story.
So yeah, Dawn came up to me and she said, I like your look. What is your deal? And she goes, it's obvious you are a Charles Adams fan. And I said, yes, I am. So we exchanged numbers, and I was called by the guys at Weird New Jersey to do an article because they saw all the pictures and all the fun I was having at this event. And so I got her on the phone. I got Ron on the phone, and I said, I need to get together with y'all, and I need to interview you. So that's when we really started becoming close, and I started getting more involved with Westfield, because again, I am an artist, and I was drawing something that I was going to include in my Westfield article, and Dawn and Ron, they're like, wow, you're really good, and they wanted me to do art for the town, and that's how I got involved.
So just in general, they wanted you to do art for the town, just in general, not for the Adams Fest.
Well, for town for the Adams Fest.
Okay, gotcha. And that's the photos that you had shared with me of you drawing the Wednesday and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the first one was the year of the premiere. I did a sketch which was, like I said, going to be originally in the magazine, but because it was originally I did a totem pole idea. Mm-hmm. And because the two windows are separate, I had to break it up and I come up with a different idea. But that original idea was from the first drawing that they saw me doing, and every year I just kept on getting invited back and doing different stuff. And this last one was Wednesday because I knew the show was coming out, and I wanted to be that one artist that represented this new show coming out.
Right. Oh, I just had a question and I just lost my. So what issue of the Weird New Jersey can the viewers and listeners look for to read about you?
It's the
Most
current
current one.
The current
on
one.
Script.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a green Indian on the
Yeah.
cover.
Oh, very
We
nice.
actually have it up right over there.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to,
it's
like, see
framed
what
on
it-
our wall.
Yeah, with the number.
proud of
is,
that.
yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
You talk, I'll get
It's
it.
always a good feeling when you know you're an artist and you get like an article written about you. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like a good
I want
feeling.
Chris was so proud of it,
So Greg, while Chris is
Yeah.
doing his thing,
Oh, not basement.
You see it? This
There
is
you
the
go.
issue. This is the issue. And it says, Chris, thanks for the Adams weirdness. Your pals, Mark and Mark.
very nice.
So
Very
it's
cool.
on this one. Yeah. Very
Not too many
proud.
people can say, "Hey, I'm in weird New Jersey."
Yeah.
Well, I aspired of being in Weird New Jersey because I have little articles throughout the years,
Okay.
photographs, blurbs, cartoons.
Very
but
cool.
I never tattoos of mine were mentioned in there and pictured, but I never had a full article.
Very
And
nice.
it took me 5 years for it to finally come out
Yeah.
because
Well,
of
that's
COVID.
not. I mean, that's not really a long time. Some people work on that their whole life before something like that would happen.
Yeah.
So Charles Adams' home is now a registered landmark. Can you guys share the story about how that came to be?
Well, again, Ron McCloskey.
Again, right? It all. I actually made this little expression up today, and I'm going to get it on a shirt. And only people that know Ron McCloskey are gonna get it. But it all goes back to Ron McCloskey. Ron McCloskey was a lifelong fan of the Adams family, and he didn't know that Charles was from his own town. So he heard rumors around town, around school, and it wasn't until that he went to the librarian and asked them, is indeed Charles Adams from this town? And he found out that he was. From that point on, he kind of got like obsessed with him,
Mhm.
and he started doing research on him, and he's a trivia guy. So he knows like every bit of trivia. That's why he's called the unofficial. By this point, because they were calling him the unofficial Charles Adams historian in the 90s. So I think he's the official one by this time.
Okay.
Definitely.
So
But-
is it currently a residence, or did they turn it into a museum?
It's a residence. It's a residence. I'm actually friends with the woman that owns it now.
Okay.
We became friends online for the Wednesday premiere
Yeah.
this year because we were Wednesday was premiered in only major cities, and Westfield is the only little town that did the premiere compared to every. So
Nice.
yeah. So she was in line in front of me, and I was dressed in a Wednesday dress, and so of course we got to talking, and she, I found out she was the owner of that, and she's very proud of it. She actually does, she works at a place that does prosthetic legs, and already asked me to do her window for next year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So before we switch topics, all right, who's the better Wednesday, Christina Ricci or Jenna Ortega? For this era, we won't go back into the 50s. It's obviously it's a whole different medium. People only know Christina and Jenna.
I'm gonna go
the younger generation, I should say. So
for me, I tell Chris this all the time. He grew up with the 1960s Adams family. I love the 90s. I mean, we're close in age, me and you. So, I love the 90s Adams family. I don't know if you remember also that game. It was like Fester's Quest in Super Nintendo.
Horrible game.
But no. So Christina Ricci, totally Christina Ricci, all the way.
Okay. Now, what about you, Jared?
Ortega stole it from me. She really did. I loved that whole show. I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't start the next one fast enough. So as much as I love Christina Ricci, Ortega took it for me.
Yeah, she can turn her emotions off like that. And it's weird seeing her like on a talk show.
I know.
Totally different. We're just seeing her in a different format because I saw X before I saw Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't really know who she was when I saw X.
Yeah.
And what's cool is she's kind of like a real goth too.
Yes.
Like you never see her out of black that often, and if you do, it's a really dark color. It's always dark makeup. She's kind of like Like goths finally made it after the 90s.
Yeah,
All right.
and you don't have to be a psycho trench coat black mafia type person to pull
Exactly.
it off.
All right, all right.
So
I got to interject here, man.
yeah,
uh, Christina Ricci, you got to be fair, man. Christina Ricci only got 2 movies.
right.
But you got to give her credit that she's the OG. So she's
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
She's like the Robert Englund,
hmm
Christopher Reeves of her character. Those are big shoes to fill, and it's great that they brought her back in. And I thought it was just going to be a cameo. I mean, she
Yeah.
had a pretty good role, and they also threw her up as the red herring in the
Well, we didn't
series.
watch the last episode yet.
Oh, come on, guys!
I
Being
know.
No,
big
we will
Addams
watch-
Family fans.
No, I don't want it to end because I know I
Yeah.
have a whole year
That's
to
what we
wait
did
for the
with
next.
with Game of Thrones. We didn't watch Game of Thrones, the finale, right before House of Dragon. And I watched Game of Thrones since the first episode in like 2000.
Yeah, we waited until
We
right
didn't want it
before
to end.
Then I guess
House
you
of
have
Dragons.
not on social media because especially the art like the companies like say I don't know, I'm just gonna put it like just we'll just say Fangoria for example.
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you see that last episode of
Oh, he knows what happens in the last episode.
Yeah, it's all over.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I guess it's
then
another
you might as well
one.
just watch it. I thought the casting was great. The only casting I didn't like was who they casted for Pugsley. I felt he just didn't fit the role.
Actually,
I like
like him.
Yeah, out of the Pugsleys.
I mean, I really don't think he had a chance to shine yet. I mean, let's see in season 2 if there's going to be more of him.
Probably not.
I know the Lurch character is actually he's Romanian. You know,
Yes.
they picked him up there in Hungary, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see more of him as well next season. I don't know what surprises we have for next year, but Jenna Ortega, I adore
Yeah, he
her.
loves Jenna. I mean, we both love Jenna.
From the
Ortega.
minute she was casted, I was like, they couldn't get any more right than casting her.
Yeah.
And like you said, she loves horror movies.
Mhm.
I mean, she's like Jared, your other guy, right?
Yep.
Jared? That whole scene that she did, that dance scene,
Mhm.
that was her.
I know.
And she did, yeah. So I mean,
And she didn't rehearse it or anything. She just do it on the fly, and now it's an TikTok thing. So, all right. So now we're going to turn it over to what the main topic is, and Jared's going to lead into the questions.
Let's do it. I Heart Horror then turned into. Wait, I'm on the wrong one.
You are on the wrong one.
Talk to us about I Heart Horror. You wanted to create a national day to celebrate the genre. Is that correct?
that is
Yes,
correct, Jared. And you want us to? I'll try to do the abridged version.
The bridge version.
So he knows your partner there knows. We told him the whole story the other day, but we'll try the abridged. So during COVID, the days were blurring together. So during the day, I would try to separate them. So
break up the monotony.
to break up the monotony. So I looked into a big thing. What's become a big thing, starting with the National Day calendar, is that they have all these like mini holidays happening every single day.
Yeah, something to celebrate every day.
Like bass fishing day.
Yeah, actually, yesterday was National Good Compliment Day.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
you have a nice beard, but that's a little it's a little past the fact.
Yeah, so yeah, like bass fishing day or rodeo lovers day, whatever. So and then at night, me and Gregory would be getting caught up with all the movies we can watch on Shudder now, because we just got Shudder
and Tubi and Pluto.
Yeah, well, at that time we just got Shudder. We were talking about it for a while, and we're like, man, as horror fans, we owe it to ourselves.
Because we used to go to horror conventions, and there'd be like, say, like Zombie. Was it Zombie 2? Is it Zombie 2? The one that Fulci did?
Yeah.
Like,
the one he fights the shark.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
always want to see.
So they would have that like there, and I'd be like, they'd have like cult movies that you would like you couldn't find these on like say like like regular channels, and it'd be like, I want to see that, but I don't have the DVD or the Blu-ray or whatever like that. So once COVID started, you had a place to go to watch all these lesser known movies that if you go to a convention, and you see things and you're like, oh, now I'm in the in crowd. If I know these movies, these cult movies.
Yeah, so all the ones that we wanted to get caught up on, we did because we had Shudder.
Yeah, we had COVID, nothing to do.
So again, I was eating, breathing, sleeping, calendar days and horror movies, and it was around February where I saw that all those memes were coming up. Like, let's just shoot frigging Valentine's Day into space and have a second Halloween. And a little light bulb went off, and I said, somebody needs to do that. Somebody needs to come forth and get this done. So it was around that same time as well that, because of social media and because I was checking out the events of every day, I found out that both Alice Cooper and George Romero share a February day together. That they both were born on that day. So I was like, well, we got a horror day, and now we need to make it happen. So we started. We first went to National Day calendar because it's the biggest one, and they
get inundated with a lot of requests.
So you got to be a little more established. So I'm like, now what are we gonna do? So like I mentioned earlier, before it all goes back to Ron McCloskey. There was something that came around called Frankenstein Friday, and it's like
we thought Frankenstein Day was.
There's actually two Frankenstein holidays for Frankenstein fans and for holiday connoisseurs. Yeah. But yeah, there's the Mary Shelley, which is in August, and then there's a Frankenstein Friday, which is in October. So I looked into it, and guess who created Mr. Ron McCloskey? So I got on the phone and I said, Ron, you created Frankenstein Friday? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, man, how do you make that happen? He says, there's a book called Chase Calendar of Events. It's in every library. And I figured it's a reference book. Yeah. If I figured it's in that book that everybody will see it across the United States, and it'll take off like wildfire or whatever. And well, it reached us, so I'm like, I need to reach out to this Chase Calendar of Events. And they took it serious. And when I said we want to have a horror holiday to take away from the mushiness of Valentine's Day, they loved that idea. They the way I worded it, that there's too much gushiness going on in February and not enough horror. And I guess she respects the horror because she pushed it through. And we got the holiday. So you want to take over from there?
No, I was just saying the editor Holly McGuire, she took our holiday, she passed it, but before she passed it, she said, just let you know, are you sure you want to keep February 4th because it's World Cancer Day? And Chris is like, we'll still do it for February. Well, first of all, we're not going to change it. We did it mostly because of George Romero and Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that's not changing.
Yeah, that's not changing. But we're like, okay, well, now we can take it and do something good with it.
Yeah, and then we can do a charity.
Turn it into a day of charity.
And that leads into our next question. So your day of horror eventually turned into a fundraiser. So let's go with that.
Okay, do you want me to take it, or do you want to take it?
Yeah. So when we found out it was World Cancer Day, I said we got to include some kind of charity. I was going to go with lung cancer because George passed away from lung cancer. So originally we were looking into lung cancer charities,
and he wanted something from like the New York, New Jersey area. Just because we're Jersey boys.
Yeah. I wanted to start out because it's a Jersey-based holiday, like we created it here, and then like grow out. So we wanted to start that, and I was gonna actually tell others if it got that big, if other states want to celebrate it, that they just find their local charity, which is like a lung cancer charity or something like that, and then go with them there or whatever. So we had to find a lung cancer charity here, which was a smaller one, but it just wasn't doing it for me. And then a friend of mine said, why don't you reach out to Deborah, which is both heart and lung? And then a little light bulb went on, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's I Heart Horror Month. I mean, and it's lung, heart and lung. So it couldn't get any more perfect. So I told my good friend Lisa, can you make that phone call first thing Monday, which she did, and they They went for it like right from the beginning and said, yeah, we love the idea. Again, another person that loved the whole horror concept, and then in this case, taking horror and making charity out of it and making money from charity.
And see, here's another cool thing about it. It all ties back, like everything tied back to Charles Adams, everything tied back to
Ron
Ron McCluskey. But
Yeah.
here's a little tidbit you might not know. Do you remember back like in early 2000s who used to be, he's from Jersey, who used to be a spokesperson for Deborah Hart and Lung Center?
Oh, wow. Do you do your research? Is that why you know this?
Uh-huh.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a investigative journalist for the show, and I gotta do my research.
Impressed, dude.
He's a world famous actor. Okay.
Oh, Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jersey.
he did Deborah. He likes Deborah.
He used to be the spokesperson for them.
Oh wow, that's I love Joe Pesci. We met Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, we met Joe Pesci with Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, he was at an album. He had an album.
Joe Pesci sings. It's called Joe Pesci sings.
And Ralph Macchio, like Chris says, that was
all right.
before.
Let's put them. I'm gonna put that on my list. So when I want to wine and dine to misses.
Oh, you need it. Or you could, if you can't find it, you could burn a copy from me. Definitely.
Nice. I just remember when I think of Joe Pesci, I just always think of the Saturday Night Live sketch they used to do with him, where the guy was like the impersonator.
What's his name?
All right, so now usually when you do a fundraiser for a charity, Deborah, they're on board with this. They know like you guys are raising money. Okay, cool. Because sometimes it's hard to get in touch with someone from a major organization.
Yeah.
They are actually literally excited for the day.
And the women that we're working with, she's from the publicity department, Doreen. She's a sweet woman. Like
extremely like melting the phone. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're getting cavities just talking to her sweet.
And will they be there?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Now I'm sure you already have this, but have you reached out to local news outlets as well?
You know what? Blue in the face. A few of them actually were nice enough to mention us. Tap into, which is something that's
across the country.
It was not across the country.
Well,
it's just Jersey, and Jersey, New York, like the tri-state, and then Florida. They don't do the whole country. That's Tap Into.
Okay.
But each section, like we're Tap Into Raritan Bay, but there's like a Tap Into Westfield. There's a Tap Into different towns. So we got into Tap Into Raritan Bay.
From the beginning, pretty much we got right into Tap Into. But I went through every single newspaper, every kind of outlet that I could. We are getting from a promotion from the radio stations. Maria Melito is being nice. We're me and her talking to each other, and
104.3.
Yeah, do you know 104.3, the rock station?
No, the only radio station I'm vaguely familiar with up in your area is like New Jersey 101.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we're actually considering calling
in
like because I wrote to them and I didn't get any response. Yeah. I put it on the Dennis and Judy page. That my little press statement.
Okay.
But I didn't get any response back. But we're thinking about in this next week to just go for it and just
it's that final countdown, balls to the wall.
Yeah.
All right, so Jared, let's take it home with the rest of the questions. You're off with number 8.
All right, what kind of vendors will be in attendance?
All right. Well, do you want to?
Well, you go. Well,
okay.
Well, we go to different.
Well, what I wanted to do with this event is to have all the different mediums, and forms being brought in and there, so everybody can see that horror is a lot. It's not just a little word. Yeah. It's really broad.
It's movies, music, books, video games.
Yeah. So I wanted to have authors. I wanted to have filmmakers. I wanted to have musicians. Podcasters. But one thing you brought up vendors, to be exact. We wanted to have only horror. We were very strict. Whatever you bring into that place that day has to be representing horror. So you will see nothing but horror from each wall.
Each vendor,
every vendor.
Chris says to keep it on brand.
Brand, which I learned from Dawn Mackey, creator of the Adams Fest. She when we talk about things to do with the Adams Fest, she'll say that's on brand for Adams Fest. I wasn't so savvy until I met her, but she's a very savvy person.
But we realize now people say on brand a lot.
Now it's a big deal. Yeah, now on brand is
like you hear it on TV. And,
it's like everywhere. So I figured I had to use it myself.
So where is this all taking place? What time and how much to get in?
Well, it's easy to find it. It's if you're from anywhere in New Jersey, for the most part, you've been to the Starland Ballroom because we have pretty huge acts at our place.
Like we had Nick.
I saw Stain there.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Sting?
Mm-hmm. Stain.
Stain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Stain's played there. Green Day's played there. I mean, like
Nickelback.
The tickets were like $500 a piece, and it sold out quick for the Green Day show. Bon Jovi played there again. He's from our town or whatever.
He had to go down.
Yeah, but they had to like charge a lot of money for him playing in his own town, of course. So it's across from the Starland.
It's VFW Post 4699.
The biggest hall in the town.
57. I guess I'm going to do 575 Journey Mill Road, Sayerville, New Jersey.
We're actually putting. I talked to the sign person, and we're going to be putting the signs around the town this week. All the lawn signs, so people can find it easy if they get lost or whatever. If they go off straight down another road, we'll have these signs to kind of like say, put this in your GPS because this is where where we're at and where the place is at.
But it's $13 for adults and $5 for children ages 5 to 12. And it's cash only. They're gonna have a card reader.
We're gonna have a card reader, but we don't know how well it's gonna work. It's all about that Wi-Fi. How good the signal is. So bring your cash. If you have it,
and food and stuff like that.
Okay, and what it's from 12 to 6, correct?
12 to 6, yes.
12 to 6. So every good fundraiser needs good music, and you have live music that day, correct?
Six bands and a DJ.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of music genre? Is it all gonna be rock or?
Well, again, it had to all have some sort of horror element. So it started out pretty much where I wanted to have several bands being represented. So I went to my friend Joe from the Zombie Mafia, which was supposed to be a part of it. He was the first person I thought of. And outside of an Alice Cooper tribute band, which we got, that's going to be the headliner, the Kings of Rock. He has a 6 costume change that day, and with effects, and he's thinking about bringing his guillotine. And
will he have a python with him or whatever? Alice,
you know what?
I hope not.
He is really deep into this character of Alice, so. I mean, he might bring that python. You don't know. He said he's bringing some surprise.
At the very least, maybe it's like one of those stuffed snakes you get from the carnival games.
Well, I would give him respect just because he knows his Alice. Yeah. So we have that. We have Alter, which is like a Venom type band. Like a black metal band.
Okay.
Then we have a psychobilly band that I discovered on accident when looking through the Pine Barrens to try to find a Jersey Devil cosplay.
Through the Pine Barrens.
I wasn't
on the internet.
No, I didn't go. I didn't go looking for the Jersey Devil and then find this band. No.
Yeah, you just hear some music playing in the woods, and you get lead to it like the Pied Piper.
but they're amazing. They're a psychobilly, rockabilly, Western surf band. So that's going to be exciting. Then we have our who I found through the Zombie Mafia, which couldn't play it unfortunately, is a Misfits cover band called Who Killed Marilyn with a female doing the Danzig.
Yeah, the
and the Michael
Actually,
Graves.
I am friends with Jerry Other.
Jerry Only?
Jerry Only's son, Jerry Other.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
He's from North Jersey. He's from North Jersey.
Yeah, well, they're from Lodi, dude. So.
Yeah, and he's a big Friday the 13th fan, and he has come. I've hung out with him once in Blairstown. We had dinner, breakfast together. My costume maker actually made him a Pam's sweater.
Oh, nice.
He's been mentoring this young female musician, and I think he was going to incorporate some Friday the 13th elements in her music video. But so if he ever comes out to a future event, and I know he's coming out, I'll let you know. He's brought his dad over to Blairstown a couple of times.
Jerry only is extreme sweetheart.
Yeah, really
I've had the honor of meeting him not once but twice, and I met I actually wore Pamela's sweater.
Nice.
We met her when she was still alive, and it was a huge thrill to meet. Did you ever meet?
No, unfortunately not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bessie Palmer.
Betsy Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the Who Killed Marilyn is the female misfit band, and then we got my friend DJ Marcus, which I don't know if you ever heard of Vintage Vinyl. It was a big record store in Ford's.
No.
It was one of the. Do you know like Amoeba in the West Coast, Amoeba in the California records? I'm a big record and CD guy, and because I'm a DJ, I hung out a lot at record stores.
Okay.
The Vintage Vinyl was actually the first CD I bought was at Vintage Vinyl, and it was a Misfit CD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Plan 9. So yes, so Marcus, I've known since I bought that first CD. He's going to be spinning for us like goth, like Bauhaus and stuff to start the day. Who Killed Marilyn, Alter, and McKell's Plot, which is that was my first. To be honest, right after I couldn't get Zombie Mafia, I wanted to get. I had to have Sayerville represented, and McKell's Plot is huge in this town. His Mike O'Connor's writing. He touches on a lot of the ghost and supernatural stuff and horror elements of our town. We're actually working on a horror haunted walk, and I was supposed to do that last year, but and then we got this holiday pass, and we pretty much just went with this project.
We want to do it for Sayerville to have, because we have a lot of
weird stuff happening. Yeah. The Jersey Devil actually made an appearance in our town once.
Oh, nice. Well, that's too far north. He's South Jersey.
We're actually
South Jersey.
We're the official start of the Pinelands.
That's what, yeah.
But see, that's where now, and Jack can probably back me up on this. That's where throughout the years it got you. While you might be the official start of, but he's got his roots in Absecon. Correct, Jared?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What, Smithville and all that?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Oh, and
that's why South Jersey and North Jersey should be their own states.
Yeah, that's a way to look at
it. Just kidding.
I don't want to forget about the accelerators. I wanted to make sure all the bands were represented. So those are the six bands and the one DJ we're going to have that day.
All right. And then Jared, you got one of the final questions.
I do. So it says there's going to be cosplayers in attendance. Any particular cosplayer the ticket holders can look forward to seeing, or to celebrate Valentine's Day? Maybe Harry Varden.
Well, Harry Warden is one of the reasons why he's the holy grail of this holiday, because like I mentioned earlier, I hate the gushiness of Valentine's Day. I would actually celebrate My Bloody Valentine's Day instead of Valentine's Day, and I would look forward to watching that movie more than anything every year. So he pretty much has to be in attendance in some way. One of the Harry Wardens will be there that day, no matter what. It's just the spirit of Harry Warden will come through with that pickaxe.
Very nice. Sure. And I'm trying to make it there as well. I did speak to my supervisor face to face last night, so he'll give me a answer sometime next week. So I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Well, like I said, you and Harry were the two most important. Jason, yeah. But I've also, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I'm chasing after Toxie to happen and Trauma. We also, because I couldn't find the Jersey Devil that they use in the pipe they use a Jersey Devil at the Albert Hall, which is in Pinelands, and they have a Jersey Devil night where they have all the Piney bands play, and then the Jersey Devil shows up like Santa Claus, and all the kids, take pictures with him and whatever.
So you guys consider Pineys? Like, are you Pineys?
We are definitely not Pineys. We're not Pineys. Not that there's
there's nothing wrong with
not that I love the Pineys. But no, we're just Central Jersey. We're Sayerville people. I just represent us as some being from Sayerville.
Okay. Central Jerseyans. We believe in Central Jersey.
Oh, so you're Central guys. So you're Central Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, we believe.
I know. I have yet to actually meet a Piney. I don't know. Like, are they like the terminology. If it's are they like the backwoods residents of New Jersey?
Bro, you lived in Vineland. You met Pineys.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
oh
Pineys.
yeah. Vineland's definitely Piney's.
I think
Piney's
Pineys are
territory.
a little north of us.
It's just where they located, but those are Pineys, bro.
And they used to say from my head to my toes. No, there was a rhyme that someone used to say, "I'm proud to be a piney." I forget the rhyme it was.
If they're in an '84 Ford pickup with rust all over, you met a Piney.
It's from my nose to my hiney. I'm proud to be a piney.
I want that plaque, even though I'm not a Piney. I gotta have that plaque.
All right, so we're gonna have a possible Harry Warden,
Yeah.
lurking around looking for his next victim. You're gonna have live music. You're gonna have awesome vendors. It's all going for a great charity. As you all know, I do various charities throughout the year. Will this be an annual event if all goes well?
Yes.
Well, actually, let me rewind. I told you this. I mentioned this yesterday. A big part of this event is authors. My friend
See,
Frank.
I was going to tell you about that.
Yeah, my friend Frank was one of the first people that I thought of when doing this event. And he brought in like 10 different authors that are going to be a part of it. One of them is a cryptozoologist.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which might actually bring his Bigfoot suit. So Bigfoot might be because I found out recently from Mike O'Connor of McKell's Plot, he's actually having a cryptozoid event coming up. Yeah, in the April and May. Yeah. He told me about this Hunter Shea guy, and Frank got him. Frank got him on the horn and got.
Is he Jersey based? The Hunter Shea?
No, he's actually. We were mostly doing New Jersey based. But there's some Pesci people and some New York people creeping in.
Yeah, very nice. We love a good hey, and if I can make it down there, I'll definitely do some networking because Jared and I have been talking about having like a crypto episode, so that would be great to have an author about cryptos.
Yep.
Yeah, Hunter Shea. Yeah, please check him out. And I know that he's excited. Most people, and it's making me very humbled. A lot of people are like stoked to that was the word that somebody used for
Hunter Shea.
No, talking about our event, about coming to our event, being part of the event, and looking forward to the event. And speaking of looking forward to, yes, we are going to do a part two. That's what I want to call it. I Heart Horror Day Part 2.
Yeah, no part 2.
Part 2, like Hot Shots Part 2.
We gotta go Friday the way of Friday 13th, man, for this one, and bigger and better, and we're very green with this one, so as awesome as this one might be, and chaos is good.
Yeah, we have a feeling
it's gonna be a little more ironed out next year. We're gonna look for,
and it's all about learning. This is your first one. Your nerves are gonna be up to here. If I can give you any advice, just you're gonna be running around like with chickens with your heads cut off, basically.
I know we are. We do a lot of breathing exercises.
Take all criticism as a constructive, and you build on for the next one because that's one way you can learn.
Well, this is our first podcast. I don't know if you've mentioned it earlier in the podcast. And
I think we
broke your seal. We broke your seal.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Me, getting some names twisted or whatever. Hopefully, going forward, I will feel more comfortable with this medium because, like I said, I love all mediums. And I wanted to represent all mediums in our event. So I've always been a fan of podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Me and my brother.
We watch a lot of YouTube.
I mentioned to you we love all the talks on the movies. We would watch a horror movie and then see what these other guys had to say, how they felt about it, the weird scenes, like what were they thinking, when watching them.
Yeah, we'll be like, what are these people's take on it? So,
all right, so the floor is yours. So this is your time to plug I Heart Horror and anyone else you want to plug. Where can we find you on social media?
Okay,
we brought in ourselves and actually made, because I knew we were gonna have to put our different addresses on things So we created a
Facebook page.
a Facebook page, an official Instagram page. We started out. The first page I did for I Heart Horror was a group committee page, and people kept on inviting people that weren't in committee. So eventually, I'm going to do a group, an I Heart public group for everybody, and we have, of course, the event page. And we have an official email, which is on a lot of things, including the signs that will be going around town. So if you have any questions, or like now we're like full with vendors, but going forward, for next year, for future events, we have the email address.
No, say Facebook page is I Heart Horror 24. I Heart Horror 24.
Capital I, capital H,
capital H. And for Instagram, it's all lowercase, I Heart Horror 24. And our email address is ihh2023@yahoo.com.
Yeah, we couldn't do. We were originally going to do I Heart Horror. What was we're going to add on to that?
Yeah, I forgot. Well, we put I Heart Horror in, and 24 came up, and it was cool because I don't know if Christopher's the one that said that, to put 24, because 2 and 4, February 4th.
Yeah.
And then 24 hours in a day. I Heart Horror 24 hours a day.
Yeah. So then we kept it. So
we kept it.
Because my friend that made buttons for me with the different I Heart 24s on it, he's like, is it supposed to be 23? Because I guess he was checking before he started making the buttons or whatever. And I said, no, it's 24, like what my brother said about it, his description. And also it's promotion for next year.
24, yeah.
Yeah, so.
There you go. So you can save money, because next year it'll be 24.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so Chris and Greg Cuneo, correct?
Cuneo.
Chris and Greg Cuneo. Sorry, I apologize.
You were pronouncing our C as an S sound? Wow, that's a
hey, I work overnights. I'm during the day. All right, so Chris and Greg Cuneo, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I hope everything goes well for you. I hope it's a success. This is an annual thing where you can raise money. Will it always be for Deborah and Hart, like every year?
We're thinking about it, but we also want to broaden it.
Okay.
I didn't bring it up, but you asked earlier, about horror and why, how the earlier reasons why the horror is so important in my life, and I was bullied as a kid, and so I stood a lot inside, watching horror movies and drawing horror cartoons and reading Monster magazine, and so bullying is a very, very important thing to me, and that's why, and I Heart Horror, and horror is important to me, and that's why I wanted this to be a family thing. I didn't want it just to be for teenagers and adults. I wanted it to be for little kids to start being introduced to horror, and I want to go forward that the stigma of that people with horror that are into horror are not like we might be freaks, but we're good-hearted freaks, kind of like the Addams Family.
Well, horror fans, and I told you this the other day, they're one of the nicest group of individuals, I think, in any genre of get-togethers. You put Star Wars and Trekkies in the same room, they're gonna go.
Like two cats in a
it's really cool what you guys are doing. I appreciate all the hard work. I'm sure Jared does as well.
Without a doubt.
Thanks, Jared.
This is not an easy thing to do. No. Like people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes to put something like this together, and you're not in it for the profit. You're in it to raise money to give to a nonprofit
from the heart.
Good luck to your event. I hope I can make it there and be a part of your success. And after everything's said and done, we'll get you back on for a follow-up just to talk about how it went.
Yeah. We'll have a lot of stories.
I'm sure you will. Hopefully no one gets eaten by a python.
Yeah, we don't want that happening.
All right, Jared, you want to take us out?
Let's do it. Guys, thank you so much for coming. It was a great time. I wish you guys the best.
Thank you, man.
I'm sure you guys will kill it. But
you're coming too, right?
I'm going to see what's happening. I'm going to see what's happening. It is not a playoff day, so there's a chance.
That'll be wonderful. Where you live again, Jared?
I live in Clayton, down south.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're worth the trip, man. It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be good chaos, like I
But
said.
if you need like any good ideas of where to go to a haunted attraction, Jared's your man. So make sure you follow him on his other forum. Jared, you want to give yourself a plug?
I do. It's HalloweenHaunts365.com.
we love haunted ones. We try to get to at least once a year.
Yeah, I try to get the one a year too.
Yeah. What's your go-to haunt, guys? Where do you go? I'm sure.
Well, we
Jared's
just went to
been there.
Brighton this year,
Brian,
and we loved it.
Brighton in Passaic, and it was like
And last year we went to the one
the 13th hour.
the 13th hour, which was pretty good too.
Yeah.
So we've never really gone to a major clunker yet.
Yeah.
Right?
No, not really.
No.
But we try to, like Chris said, we try to go to one a year.
At least.
I mean, that's
if I had more time, I would definitely do more than one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because October's a busy month for you, so
yeah,
it's hard.
extremely.
But now they're opening earlier and earlier, so September is always a good month. And Jared took us to Field of Screams, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I love
Yep.
Yeah, we love that.
Field of Screams.
We've
is
done
awesome.
that. We've been
Okay,
there.
good.
We've enjoyed
But Jared,
that.
your favorite is Reapers, correct?
100%.
Yeah,
Reaper's
so-
Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys been to that one?
No, we still want to. We've never been to Reaper's
Where's
Revenge.
Reaper's again?
I've heard of Reaper's Revenge.
Where's
I
that?
always wanna go.
Scr- It's in Scranton, Pennsylvania,
Oh, that's not too far out.
and it's worth every minute in the car.
And Scranton is a really cool town. I mean, that's where the Houdini Museum is. You ever go there?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's
I've heard about the Houdini, but Jared, I would like to touch base with these guys in the spring or summer because one, they can give us a tour of Westfield,
Every
Adam's
detail.
house. That
Yeah.
would be good content. And also, I think it would also, I know how you want to do filming locations. This won't be a filming location, but a unfortunate killing location, the Matawan Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which
Well,
inspired
y-
Jaws.
y- you're also forgetting the Westfield Watcher.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually right around the corner from one of the windows that I was doing this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I walked over there one day, and then the night of
John List,
the
too.
Wednesday premiere, we made sure to stop by both houses, the List House and the Watcher House.
So the
No,
List
that-
House isn't too far from the Watcher's house, right?
No, it's like
About a mile and a half.
yeah. Maybe,
Okay, so we
You gotta
can
drive.
we
you
can
can't
spend a
walk.
day with you guys per
Oh, yeah.
se and get
Oh,
some
so
good
much to
content.
do in that town. Well, I still want to take the time to go do the Amityville horror locations that are.
Well, that's on our
Tom's
bucket.
River.
Well, not to our bucket list because that's not too far from us. Well, I mean, not too far from Jared. It is a little drive from me, but yeah, the Tom's River area. And
They got the church and stuff.
real quick, Irene and I had spent like 2 summers down in Point Pleasant, and which is only like a half an hour from Tom's River. But on both occasions, we didn't get a chance to go look at the movie house. But when we were driving in, not the Shoretown area, Point Pleasant, but offshore, I'm like, hey, that church looks familiar. Oh, that was in Amityville Horror.
Oh, you went there just passing it like that? Wow.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I-
definitely our paths will cross. And I mean, I think at least for the stuff in your area, you guys would be good tour guides for us.
Oh yes. Yeah.
We have a lot. There's I mean, it's more sci-fi, but Grover's Mill is where War of the Worlds happened.
Well, we're all things horror per se, and War of the Worlds. I mean, again, Jersey. I mean, the radio broadcast alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm proud of Jersey. I don't know how long we're gonna be here. I like me and my brother always talk about going towards Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we love Pittsburgh.
we love
yeah.
Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Zombies over there.
Yeah.
So, but in the meantime,
This is home. This will always be home.
we're gonna
Right.
we're gonna share. As
I
much
may
as
have
we can.
a PA license, but Jersey will always be my home.
Yeah.
So-
And you're from where Spirit's from, right? Egg Harbor.
Egg Harbor Township, yeah, right
Yeah,
by the.
yeah, yeah.
I literally like growing up. I mean, well, back then it was Circuit City, but 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
So
We still
We
haven't
still
been
wanna
to
go
we still haven't been to that
to
one
the-
yet.
to the
Yeah,
headquarters.
I want to go on the
In July,
opening day.
yeah.
oh, it's crazy on opening day.
Yeah, I heard it's crazy.
Go the Sunday after.
It's like Monster Mania
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
on the opening
It's
day.
it's all the YouTubers and bloggers and kids on the opening day. It's a nightmare. I always
Yeah.
go the Sunday after.
Oh wow. Okay, that's cool too.
all right.
All right, guys, this has been the Horror Shed Podcast. Make sure you check out this flyer that I'm going to post again. It is February 4th from 12 to 6, Sayerville, New Jersey, across from the
You got it
Starland
right.
Ballroom. See, I got to pick it up. But guys, this has been the Horror Shed Podcast. We will see you guys next week.
Sounds good.
All
Later.
right, gentlemen.
Halloween Haunts 365 Productions.